Much speculation, many sensationalist news stories, many people talking online without ever having looked at the data. Since it was discovered, the interstellar object 3I Atlas has sparked an unprecedented debate. Traditional media rushed to label it as a simple comet, closing the discussion. But we, on this channel, have done what true science requires. We have analyzed the documents, the calculations, the empirical observations, and we have highlighted its profound anomalies from the very beginning. Today, not only do new observations from the world's most powerful telescopes confirm all our doubts, but they add even more disturbing evidence. Evidence that destroys the official version. Prepare yourselves, because we are about to see together why 3I Atlas is not a simple comet. Before diving into these shocking data, I ask you for a moment. If you believe in scientific communication that is not afraid to ask questions, that is not satisfied with easy answers but digs into the data, then subscribe to this channel. And if you want to be an active part of this mission, consider subscribing to concretely support information free from dogma and prejudice. Now, let's begin our journey. The first fundamental anomaly, the one that alone should make us doubt, concerns its appearance. Classic comets approaching the sun develop a well-defined tail, a trail of dust and gas pushed away by solar radiation. 3I Atlas does not. High-resolution observations, first with the Hubble Space Telescope and then overwhelmingly confirmed by James Webb, tell us something else. It does not have a tail projected behind it, but an anomalous luminosity, a sort of symmetrical coma directed toward the sun. It's as if its emission were frontal, a completely unusual behavior that challenges classical cometary models. Let's move to the second anomaly. Size and statistics. Early studies indicated a nucleus of about 20 kilometers, but more recent observations suggest it could be much larger, perhaps up to 46 kilometers in diameter. To give you a comparison, it's about 1 million times more massive than the previous interstellar visitor 2I Borisov. And here arises a huge mathematical statistical problem. In interstellar space, we expect to find many small objects before encountering a giant one. The probability of randomly fishing on the first try a colossus of tens of kilometers is so low as to be almost negligible. It's a statistical anomaly that cannot be ignored. Third anomaly, perhaps the most subtle and fascinating, water. Analyses have revealed the presence of water ice on its surface. So what, you might say? The anomaly is that this water doesn't behave as it should. It doesn't evaporate. The object was already close enough to the sun to produce a classic water vapor coma, but this coma isn't there. And here, the recovery data from the TESS telescope, analyzed in a new study, gives us overwhelming confirmation. These observations, made almost 2 months before the official discovery, show that 3I Atlas was already active at almost 6.4 astronomical units from the sun. At that distance, it's too cold for water to sublimate. This proves that its activity is driven by something else, by hypervolatiles like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. And indeed, James Webb then confirmed an absurd chemical composition, an enormous amount of CO2 and very little water, with one of the most extreme ratios ever recorded. And now, we come to the trajectory, an anomaly so evident it seems almost calculated. 3I Atlas has a retrograde orbit. It moves in the opposite direction to all the planets in the solar system. But the incredible thing is that this wrong orbit is almost perfectly aligned with our orbital plane, the ecliptic plane. The probability that a random interstellar object would have such a trajectory is infinitesimal. As if that weren't enough, its path includes close and precise passages to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. The mathematical probability of a trajectory with so many planetary encounters is estimated to be just 0.005%. And, cherry on top, at the moment of closest approach to the sun, when we could observe it best, it will be impossible to see, because it will be exactly on the other side of the sun from us. But the most shocking anomaly, the proof that forces us to question everything, is very recent. The latest spectroscopic analyses have revealed that 3I Atlas is emitting nickel into space, pure nickel without iron. To understand the scope of this discovery, you need to know that in the universe, iron and nickel are cosmic twins, born together in the same supernova explosions, and we always find them together. We don't know natural processes capable of separating these two elements so clearly. The only way we know to produce pure nickel, isolated from iron, is through industrial processes here on Earth. Finding pure nickel in an interstellar object doesn't automatically mean it's artificial, but it poses an enormous scientific question. It makes you think of something manufactured. It's an almost impossible anomaly in nature, certified by an official document. So what is 3I Atlas? Let's summarize the evidence. It doesn't have a classic comet tail, but unusual frontal luminosity. An absurd chemical ratio, rich in CO2 and poor in water. It emits nickel without iron, an almost industrial signature. It has statistically improbable dimensions and a suspicious trajectory, almost calculated. Aren't there too many anomalies? One thing is absolutely certain, and the data confirms it without a shadow of doubt. It's not a simple water-ice comet, as the mainstream narrative would have us believe. It's an atypical interstellar object, unique, different from anything we've ever observed before. Its chemistry is fascinating. Its trajectory defies the logic of probability. Each new observation, instead of simplifying, makes it even more mysterious. And this is where true science comes into play, not in giving easy answers, but in embracing the enigma, in letting the data guide us, even when it takes us to the limits of our certainties. 3I Atlas reminds us that the universe hasn't finished surprising us yet, and that looking at the sky means accepting that the boundaries of what we know are always provisional. And perhaps, just perhaps, objects like this are trying to tell us something we're not yet ready to hear. If this journey to the frontiers of knowledge has excited you, I invite you to take one more step. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates, and you will actively support this free communication project, which is not afraid to look at data and ask the questions that matter, without dogma and without prejudice. It's a simple click for you, but it means the world to me and keeps this passion project alive. Thank you from the heart for being with me. See you in the next episode.